You guys. You guys. Oh yeah. Hi. Hi guys, it's Callie. Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who do not know who I am, welcome if it is your first time here. If not, then welcome back. So, per my last video, I asked you guys to share with me your first date horror stories, first date weird, awkward, funny, whatever stories. If it was a first date and it was awkward and weird and horrific, there probably wasn't a second. So, and y'all, some of these are really actually pretty funny. I'm excited to read your stories. I really like this whole thing where you guys send me your stuff and I get to know you and get to read your stories out loud. It's super fun and I like learning just about everyone's different lives. Kind of interesting. So here we have a Bravazzi. I thought it was just a grapefruit soda, but apparently it has alcohol in it. That's what we're dealing with today. It's actually delicious. So it's dying. What does he want from me? What do you want from me, dog? Can I just say, today I'm looking at myself and I'm like, you are cute, you are so pretty. I feel like I look so good and it makes me real happy. So, okay, let's read these stories. Here's the first story. Went out with this guy, friend of a friend, on my first date since my ex and I broke up. I was a little rusty and nervous. I drank too much to calm my nerves, tripped and fell, and ended up twisting my ankle. But I was so drunk I didn't notice. And he ended up having to take me back to his place, put me in his bed, and I slept there fully clothed with my shoes on. And he had to drive me home the next day. Then I had to get my ankle checked out because it was so swollen, in case anyone ever feels bad for a date gone wrong, LOL. That is something I would totally do. I mean, I feel like, you know, drinking the drinky drinks, so. Oh my God. When I was 19, I went on a date with a super good looking guy and we ended up at a pub and he drank like 3 pints in 30 minutes. Damn. And then he asked me to finish my wine and we left the pub and he then ran away to a pizza shop. Oh, she got ghosted IRL though. He said, whoop. Weirdest date. We had been dating for 2 months. He was drunk when I showed up. When I came back from the bathroom, he was on Tinder. He was on Tinder on their date. And he was drunk. This isn't a good start, really. I called him out. He got mad and stormed out. I passed him on the way home, stomping up the road, carrying a full-size garbage can and American flag that he stole off someone's porch. I asked if he wants a ride. He refused to get in the car without his garbage can and flag. They won't fit, so I leave him there and never hear a word from him again. Okay, but that is the universe doing you a favor. The fact that you never heard from him again, that's good. You do not need some little old drunk man stomping up the driveway with a garbage can and American flag. America. Fuck yeah. Not hearing from him again is probably the best outcome that could have happened in that situation. First date with a Tinder match. As the waitress was seating us, he sat at the table behind me with 2 other women without saying anything. Turns out they were former co-workers, but I could hear him talking about me. He finally came back to our table, but I still felt awkward because these ladies were still there and could hear everything we said. That actually is really awkward. I've had that happen to me before on a friend date where she knew the people that were sitting right beside us and I didn't know who they were, and she just basically like sat there and talked to them the whole time, and I'm like, that would be were supposed to be. Like, I just kind of felt like the odd man out because I didn't know. They were talking about like childhood friends and stuff I didn't know about, you know? So I totally get that. That's so awkward. Date horror story. First he took me to dinner with his friend. Well, actually he made me drive. That part is just weird, not scary. They wanted to go to Walmart, so I brought them. Felt like a babysitter. And then when we got there, they started inhaling dust off to get high, and his friend started seizuring. The guy I was supposed to be on the date with said, "Don't worry, this always happens, he'll be fine." He would seize up and start falling over and drooling everywhere, and I did not know what to do, and they kept doing it too. When we finally left, we were in my car, and my date started freaking out because he didn't know who I was or where I was taking them. Probably a different kind of scary than most people, but still scary nonetheless. Yeah, that is effed up. First of all, he took you to dinner with his friend and then made you drive around while they got high. I am assuming that you're probably still not talking to this guy. I just feel like I would really want to say something to like the police or an employee, be like, yo, this guy's having a seizure, and to just have someone be like, no, don't say anything, it's totally fine. I feel like I would just have to walk away, like I couldn't do it. So you're a stronger woman than me, girl. A guy told me he got a girl pregnant and she was due in 6 weeks after an amazing first date. That sounds very, very messy and hard and complicated, and I'm so sorry that the amazing first date ended with that. He told me to wear comfortable shoes, and then he took me camping in the mountains, Utah. Well, that sounds like a pretty fun date, but I don't know if it's my first date with them, if I would trust them enough to just like go out in the woods with them, because hashtag don't go in the woods alone. I got taken for a walk through an abandoned brick making factory next to a cemetery, and then he wanted us to lay down in the middle of the street like The Notebook. It ended with a creepy walk through a dark unknown forest. Yeah, how about no, Scott? A guy picked me up for a date and then asked me to Uber home. That is savage in the worst way. I cannot believe that. I've never had a date. Maybe this is horrifying. No, I think that's great. I don't think that's horrifying at all. Oh my God. He asked at a 5-star restaurant if I could save my tampons for him my next period. Oh! That is like the creepiest one, I think. That is the most disgusting thing that I have ever heard. I just want to know, what is he going to do with them? Does he have a collection? Do other females send them? Is he going to use your blood and somehow like frame you for a crime you didn't commit? Like, what does he need this tampon for? Used tampon. Used is the key word. Date from hell story. I had a first date with a male emergency room nurse. He asked me to pull his finger at dinner. He just held his finger out and wouldn't put his hand down. Then he proceeded to tell me the story of how he and where he had sex for the first time. Oh, no, honey. No second date for sure. For sure. Oh, and my dad killed my mom's dog on one of their first dates. Bear! I'm so sorry. He took the dog for a walk and came back with its collar and leash. It got hit by a car. That is so sad, but it's his, they're married now because my dad killed my mom's dog on their first date. Damn, that is like, I don't know how he worked that out to keep dating her and go on to get married. That's insane. Awkward dates. Let's go! Went on a date with a guy who asked me out for drinks, direct quote. I got to the bar, ordered a drink, and he proceeded to order water and tell me about how he doesn't drink anymore because he used to be a borderline alcoholic, which absolutely props to him for not drinking and living his life for him, but why ask me out for drinks? Most awkward date of my life. P.S. Did not order a second drink. No, ma'am. Also went on a blind date with a guy bowling. Some people love bowling. I'm awful at it, and if there's not beer involved, I'm not here for it. Immediately when we get there, he says he doesn't believe in drinking. Okay, fam. Sober bowling. Then proceeded to tell me he doesn't understand why people read fiction. I am a high school English teacher, and he knew that. What? He dropped me off at home. He fist bumped me goodnight. Solid date. I just can't. I cannot. Physically, mentally, cannot. Yeah, why would he ask you out for drinks, first of all? If he is, you know, recovering, that is totally fine. But why be like, hey, do you want to go get drinks? Oh, by the way, I can't drink. Weird. Second one, fist bumped you goodnight. Night, bro. I just like, that makes me feel like such like a bro. Yeah, probably not. This is a really good one. My awkward date story. I was on my second date with a guy and we went to his apartment. I thought it was just gonna be me and him hanging out. I walk into his living room and his parents, aunt and uncles, siblings, cousins were all there. It was so uncomfortable. Second date, he said, time to meet the fam. What better time than now? In the present, in the moment. Hell yeah, let's go girl. Fist bump. I was on a first date with a really good looking man and he ordered artichoke hearts as our appetizer. I had never had them and was so nervous I shoved the whole artichoke leaf in my mouth and tried to chew it up. It's literally impossible. He showed me how you actually eat them, but I did not get a second date. But also, it's kind of his fault for ordering the artichoke appetizer, wouldn't you guys agree? Because like, where the hell is the queso? I was really single after 5 years of being in a relationship, and all I wanted to do was experience something new. Aww. I went on a date with a guy. We ended up back at his place. We started to get intimate, and then in the middle of sex, he stops and says he couldn't continue anymore. I was like, why? And he's like, cause he promised his dead grandma he wouldn't have sex with random girls. I don't know if that's sweet or creepy or like an excuse, because you already had the sex. You're already like in there, like deep. So like you're in the sex and then you can't, but you already did it. So like it doesn't really matter at that point. But I think his grandma would understand. Hopefully she gives him her blessing eventually. I'm screaming. So, worst date story. This was my very first real. What are you doing? What is this? Huh? What you want? You need to go lay down. I'm trying to read all the terrible stories. Don't you appreciate some humor? Don't you need some humor in your life? Worst date horror story. This was my first real date ever. I spent hours on my hair and he picked me up and said the AC didn't work in his car. So we drove 30 minutes to the movie theater with all the windows down in July. Hair equals ruined. Oh, don't you hate that? Whatever, I can live with that. Okay, look at you, Miss Positive Polly. We get to the movie theater, find our seats, and then he looked me dead in the eyes with a straight face and asked me to go dig out a cup from the garbage can for him so that he could spit his dip. I asked if he was kidding and he got really offended and didn't talk to me the rest of the date. I later found out that he also had a can of dip tattooed on him. Poor 15-year-old me. Okay, but like here's the thing. The movie theater would have just given him a cup, so he should have gotten a cup like there. Also, if he wanted a dip spit cup, he should have gotten it himself and not asked you on your first date to like dig it out of the trash can. I think that's really where he went wrong. I don't find dipping attractive, but you know, if that's his thing, like own it. Don't make someone else do your dip spit work for you, you know? You gotta be all in. Yeah, I think that's also really funny that he got offended. The universe works in mysterious ways, and this happened so that you realized you don't want this in your life. I love that he has a can of dip tattooed on him. I'm thinking, actually, for me, that will be my next tattoo as well. So, we have that in common. Okay, this is kind of sad. A guy called his mom while we were on our first date to tell her he'd found the one. That's kind of like sad and sweet, but like definitely probably not a good move. We were making out in his car in a park and the cops came and asked me if I was okay. I'm kind of a brat. I probably would have been like, no, I'm absolutely not okay. Like he's holding me against my will. Like even with Tyler, I'd probably do that now just to like see if I could get him arrested. It sounds like so messed up, but it'd be kind of funny. But yeah, that's kind of funny. After I told this guy I was not into him, He took my drink and just gave it to the girl at the next table. That is, okay, that is a little bad for you, but that's also kind of funny. You gotta admit, that's kind of funny. It was a little funny. Within 5 minutes of being there, he asked, "So, anal?" Okay, at least he's forward. You have to give him the credit. At least he was like forward with what he wanted, and he didn't make you wait and then, you know, a long time then ask, because then what if you didn't want it? He's like, now you wanna do it? But probably not the best move. I have never met this guy. We met on Bumble and chatted for a few days and decided to meet. And he got out of his car, ran up to me, picked me up, spun me around, and kissed me before I could even say hello to him for the very first time. Quit coming on so strong. We don't like it. That's all I have to say about that. We went to the mall with his mom. We were both 21. No, honey. No, honey, no. Guy just drove me to dead end road and asked if I wanted to make out. I said no. He cried. Oh my God, what? A guy took me to lunch, ate a whole pizza, then ate 85% of my lunch and made me pay? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Mind blown. My mind is also blown at that. And I'm so surprised that you paid. And see, I feel like that's always an awkward conversation. Like, how does that come up? I would just assume like we were splitting it, you know? Was he like, oh, I don't have any money. Can you pay? Like, can you pay and I'll pay you back? I honestly probably would have said no, especially if I don't know him. Savage. I was on a date with a guy and he tells me his girlfriend thinks I'm pretty and if I want to come over and meet her. Got some serious threesome vibes from him and his girlfriend. I ran for the hills. Smart. A guy smacked me on the butt after he tried to turn my goodbye hug into an awkward kiss. He was gonna get something, whether it was a kiss or a butt grab or a boob slap. He was trying to get something, not just a little hug, because he hugs his mama. He wanted, because he hugs his mama. He wanted something more, girl. Okay, he's so lonely. This next one's kind of a little bit long, a little bit long. I went on a blind date that had a lot riding on it. So much pressure because our mutual friend wanted us to get married right off the bat. Yikes. So the guy wants to go ice skating, which I hate because I'm the clumsiest and have to cling to the wall the whole time. But he insists. So there we are on the ice, and instead of holding my hand or like linking arms like a true gentleman, he skates ahead and leaves me because I'm slow and struggling to stay upright. I try to catch up because at this point the children on the rink are passing me and I fall hard. My legs fly out straight in front of me. I fall on my butt, which doesn't have a lot of cushion, might I add. Girl, me either. Immediately pain floods through my body, but again, there's so much riding on this date. I wanted to impress this guy. So I get back up and slowly pretending nothing happened when really I'm dying inside. All I want to do is go home. So naturally he insists we go get food afterwards. So we walk into the food joint and there's not a padded seat or booth in sight. God damn, this is the worst. Straight up hard as a rock wooden chair. So I sit on my poor tender bottom for 40 minutes pretending to listen to whatever this guy is saying, because at this point I'm trying to keep tears at bay, and now I'm starting to hate this guy by association from not noticing my stress. Damn, that is so me. Like, why are you not reading my mind? I hate you. Finally, he takes me home. I try to relax at home with a heating pad, but to no avail. I forgot to mention it's Christmas break, so I spend the next few days trying to enjoy the holiday with family. Fast forward 2 weeks, I get x-rays just to prove I'm not a baby, and I discover I broke my fucking sacrum. Not the little tailbone that hangs off the sacrum, but the legit hardcore sacrum or curved bone at the bottom that forms the butt. Yep, I broke my butt. Worst date ever. Holy shit. Yeah, that does sound like the worst day ever. I want to know, was there a second date? I mean, shite. That is like kind of crazy that you broke your butt and you literally went on with the rest of the date and you're like, oh, I'm just gonna take it easy. I'll get an x-ray because people think I'm a baby. I broke my fucking ass, you assholes. Jesus. Okay. I once went on a date, okay. I once went on a date out to dinner with this guy. He wouldn't make eye contact and barely talked. Should we ever start this for like the 5th time? I once went on a date out to dinner with this guy. He wouldn't make eye contact and barely talked. I looked up during my meal to see him filming and taking pictures of me. Is he an Instagram queen? I literally knew nothing about him, so I ended the date real quick. Later, I found out he posted them to his Instagram. Knew it, acting like I was his girlfriend. I have a lot to say about this. First of all, creepy, crazy, weird, awkward. Why? That's like the type of personality where they care more about what people who they don't know think about them than those that they do know. And I think that's a real issue. That's like some inside insecurity, people please and stuff. But also very weird that he was like not even talking to you. I asked for my address probably 10 times on the first date, even after I said it was creepy. That is very creepy. And why does he keep asking? I'd be like, it's not really your business. Like, why do you want this? Why do you need to know? You don't need my address. For what? I'm not inviting you over. Actually, in fact, you cannot come over. Went out with a guy that, without asking, ate pasta off my plate with his hands. He ate pasta off her plate with his hands. Pasta. Pasta. Please let this sink in, Bear. Pasta. Not chicken fingers, not French fries, not doggy kibble. Mother freaking pasta. I cannot believe that. That is, that's something else. That went on a date to the movies with a 20-year-old when I was 15, and he kept whispering in my ear to go to his truck, and he put his tongue in my ear. Oh God. The age difference in itself was creepy enough, but the tongue in my ear, nope. Hello, Mama, let me whisper in your ear. That's what he said. All right, you guys, that is all of your first date awkward horror stories that I had time for today. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I honestly love reading your guys' stories. It brings me so much joy. So if you have any ideas for any other stories you wanna do, let me know below. We could do like school or I don't know, working in retail. I got a lot of those, you guys know. But yeah, it was really fun and kind of funny and made me feel a lot less alone because even though I've been married for a while, I have gone on like crappy dates before in high school, and it was kind of fun and funny just to like laugh at this stuff together. So hopefully your first awkward date was your last, even though I'm sure it's not because there's plenty of weirdies out there. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that on this video, and I will see you guys next time. All right, bye guys.